Hey there, Richard Wolf at I'mTalkingMedicare.com. And I want to come to you real quick with a short video talking about enrollment periods. If there's ever a question I probably get asked the most is, Richard, when should I get started looking at Medicare and deciding what I want to do? Well, that answer really is based on what enrollment period might you be eligible for. When it comes to when the time comes when you're 65 years old, and actually about 3 to 4 months ahead of time is when I advise you really start looking. But you can really start investigating and getting educated as much as 64 if you like. That way you can put a plan in place for when that time comes, deciding, am I going to actually retire? Am I going to keep working? Do I need to shift funds or whatever it might be from a financial standpoint as well? But back to enrollment periods. So when you first turn 65, you have what's called an initial enrollment period. Initial. So this means when you first turn 65, you get 3 months before, the month you turn 65, and then 3 months afterwards. That's considered your IEP, we call it in the business, initial enrollment period. And this is when you're allowed to enroll in any type of a Medicare and a Medicare plan. Okay? Whether that be a Medicare supplement and a prescription plan or the Part C Medicare Advantage plans. That's your 7-month window right there. Now to drill a little deeper here, I always suggest that folks at least take a look at things in this window, because there's a few guaranteed issue periods once you're enrolled in Medicare that apply depending on how and when you enroll in Medicare. So you want to know about those so you can at least know about those options. And if you need them, great. If you don't need them, no big deal at all there either. So always start, in my opinion, at least 3 to 6 months ahead of time. And again, you can go as far out as a year, because most likely you're getting stuff in your mailbox at age 64. Because as insurance agents, we've kind of figured out the sooner you get in front of people, the better it typically is for them and for us as the agent, because we can kind of work with you through the whole process. The second one is what's called SEP, or Special Enrollment Period. Now, a special enrollment period is going to come into a few different areas, and there's a long list of what Medicare has as special enrollment times. But the most common one that I come across, probably more than any, is those folks who have sat down and got educated about Medicare 3 months ahead of time, or maybe right before at 65, and they've decided, you know what, my group benefits are a little bit stronger, a little bit lower cost, and I like them better than I will on Medicare. So I'm going to defer Part B of Medicare. Yep, I'm going to enroll in Part A. Part A is your hospital coverage. See another video for the details of those. But because Part A doesn't cost you anything. Part B is what you pay a monthly premium for. So you can defer Part B until later and not pay that extra premium. You'll just pay your group coverage and stay under their co-pays, co-insurance, deductible type of structure. And sometimes that is the best fit. But that's why we need to visit ahead of time to kind of see. So at age 66 and a half, 67, 70, whenever you finally decide to retire and drop those group benefits, it becomes a special election period. 2 forms have to be filled out to get to Medicare to enroll in Part B. One from you to say, hey, I want Part B. Another one from your employer to tell them, hey, he had coverage from the day he turned 65 all the way up until now. So they waive any penalties that we might charge you. Again, that's another question about penalties later, but as long as you've had creditable prescription drug coverage or creditable insurance coverage, you will not be charged a penalty when you finally do enroll in Part B of Medicare. Okay? Now, the third enrollment period that's really important for folks to know is what's called the General Enrollment Period. GEP, General. Now, this one doesn't come up a whole lot. But the way this one works is, if for whatever reason you did not enroll in Part B of Medicare when you were initially able to, or when you dropped your group coverage and you just decided, you know what, I'm taking my chances, or maybe I can't afford the Part B premium, whatever your reason was is pretty much irrelevant. But then you would fall under getting enrolled under a general enrollment period. And the way this one works is you tell Medicare between January 1st and March 31st of any given year, I want to get Part B of Medicare. They do the paperwork, and now come July 1st, your Medicare actually starts. Now, the challenge with that is this. In that situation, you are going to get a penalty of 10% of the Medicare premium times the number of full 12-month periods that you didn't have Part B and you should have. So let's just say that's 3 years. Well, they're going to take your Part B premium. Right now for 2022, it's $170.10. Multiply that by 30% and add that to it. And you're going to pay that premium every single month for as long as you're on Medicare. And if the Medicare increases that premium, then your 30% is going to increase as well. So that makes it a lot more expensive if you don't get enrolled in your initial or your special enrollment periods. So just a little tidbit of info for you. Last thing I want to share with you is this. Because with all that information I just gave you, you heard the word in there, creditable coverage. And that's the key term that Medicare uses to say, well, we won't charge you a penalty if you had creditable coverage. So there's only 4 things that Medicare lists, and it's in the Medicare New Book, that are not considered creditable coverage. Let me share them real fast. Okay, and these are them. The 4 that are not considered creditable coverage are COBRA. That's the benefit that you can get for up to 18 months after you quit working. But if you're age 65 or above and eligible for Medicare, you should not get COBRA. You should go ahead and get Part B and get started with that. Okay? But it's not creditable. So they'll charge you a penalty if you keep that for 18 months and then get Part B. Veterans Administration, VA benefits. I work with a lot of vets that have the VA benefit for a lot of their medical care. But once you turn 65, you still need to get Part B and Part A. The VA can still help cover costs, but you have to have Medicare as well. So that wouldn't be considered credible. Third one is marketplace coverage. We have Affordable Care Act. A lot of marketplace plans where you get a subsidy or premium tax credit to go buy health insurance, reduces your cost, right? Those are not considered creditable either. Again, if you're 65 and on those plans, you should not be. You need to get Part B and move to the Medicare space. And then lastly is retiree coverage. Don't come across this a whole lot, but sometimes it does come up to say, okay, I'm going to retire from my company, keep some group benefits for a period of time until I turn 65. And there are even some folks that might keep retiree coverage after that. So for whatever reason, again, it gets a little fuzzy right here in the retiree space. Because is it considered retiree benefits or is it considered retirement? Okay, so that's a company question there. Won't dig too deep into that. But that's a question to ask your insurance folks or your HR people. They should be able to answer that for you. So to wrap this all up real quick for you, the biggest thing here is to understand is when I'm about to turn 65, 3, 6, 12 months ahead of time, I need to get educated on how Medicare works, okay? Even if I decide to not enroll in Part B, no sweat, but we definitely need to get educated on what it works. And that's what I specialize in. Me and my team, we educate folks. And if we're gonna do something now, great, we'll help you make that decision. And if not, no sweat. We'll stay in touch, send you a birthday card every year until it comes the time you're ready to get enrolled. We're gonna be there to stand with you, help service you, help go through any changes that might come up along the way. Again, service is our theme. Richard Wolf, I'mTalkingMedicare.com. Would love to help out. Reach out if we can help. We'll do face-to-face, we'll do over the phone, we'll do video calls. However, we can work that out logistically to make it easy for you and educate you on the process and how it works. Good to talk. Look forward to talking more soon.